The Water Lords and I.
The druids didn't take your boy. If I find him, I'll see to his safe return.
The boy is gone. A warning to all. We must prepare.
Prepare for what?
The Water Lords and I.
Farewell.
Whoop! What a dump! Damn, I'm hungry.
Say something?
I seek information on the mage's tower.
What good is human magic? Tricks, nothing more. However, Yavin showed interest in that building.
Damn, I'm hungry.
What do you seek? You bother me.
What do you mean?
Some of our greatest died combating humans. First when your kind arrived in these lands, then recently when we again concluded we couldn't abide mankind's tyranny. Have you seen fenouid flowers? You couldn't find one because you can't distinguish it from common plants.
I don't remember elven history. Tell me about fenouid.
Why should I? Wait. I've long carried this book I need no more. Read it, and you'll learn of what I speak, though I doubt you'll understand its message.
Thank you.
When will this end?
What is it?
I'm here about the notice.
Finally. Got the hides?
I do. 10 wolf pelts.
Wonderful. The title of Royal Jägermeister will be mine. Else, I'll become a mercenary.
Farewell.
First spade another night.
The waters seem unsettled. Good sir, do you need a boat? What do you want?
Yaran sends his greetings. I have the herbs.
Finally.
Here, 5 beggar-tick blossoms, as agreed.
400 orans and give my best to Yaran.
I'll be sure to.
What do you want?
I'll find you later.
Speak.
The ferryman paid me for the herbs.
About time.
Here's your share.
Real pleasure doing business, Witcher.
Likewise, Yaran.
Speak.
Godspeed.
Geralt, I was wondering if you'd care to join the Order.
Well...
Before you say no, let me give you some details.
No, I'm not interested.
Geralt. I suspect...
Here are their tongues.
Wait, I must record this. 10 drowners. Good. Here's your gold.
What do you want, Wolf?
I've been to Taller's place. Found a few things there. Belong to someone I've been looking for.
Yeah? So what?
They belong to a witcher. How'd you get them?
We found them. Your friend was in trouble. Scheming with Salamandra. Ask the people in the swamp. That's where we found those trinkets.
I'll smash your face.
No sign of Javed or the Professor. This bunch should cave easily. Let's do this.
Who does he think he is? I'm sleepy.
Who's this? This wasn't our deal, cop.
Relax. Just a witcher. Surely you know witchers are golems. No will of their own. Follow orders quick and easy. No complaints. Right, Geralt?
Right.
See? Nothing to be afraid of. You didn't exactly come alone. Now let's deal.
I don't trust him. Heard he was a fucking murderer, cut up over a dozen of our people.
Let's not play who killed who. That's the past. We're interested in the future. Your future. Which will be unpleasant if Javed learns you cheated him. And believe me, he'll learn shortly if you don't start talking.
You're bluffing. You don't scare me.
Enough. Where's Javed? Where are the Witcher's secrets? Spit it out before I feed you to the rats.
Vincent, stop him. I know nothing. I was assistant to Salamandra's accountant. Javed stopped trusting me. I don't know where he is or what he intends.
The Professor?
I don't know. He went off somewhere.
Bullshit. You need encouragement.
You promised me protection in exchange for my testimony. On my mother's grave, I know nothing. Stop him! You're a cop. This is murder. You're gonna stand by and watch?
No, I'm leaving. Besides, I know you had a part in murdering Raymond's family. Witcher, make it quick.
You dare challenge the Salamandra?
Something must be done.
You bastard!
What do you want?
Greetings, dwarf.
Racial segregation with the first words uttered.
What do you want me to call you?
Bah! You're like everyone else. Like the whole accursed city. Vizima humans get everything, we get naught.
I neither live in Vizima, nor am I human.
What then?
A witcher. A mutant.
Well, in that case, sorry. I'm Golan Vivaldi. My cousin, Vimy Vivaldi, once met a witcher. A debt collector, apparently.
I'm Geralt, and I'm no debt collector.
What brings you here?
I have a message for you from Yevon.
Yevon? I don't need to read it. I know what he wants. Witcher know that whether elf, human or dwarf, they all want the same thing.
Gold?
Gold indeed. If you care to drop by later, you can collect my answer to Yevon.
Agreed.
But don't count on getting any gold from me. Yevon has doubtless promised you some already. I've no time. What brings you here?
Have you finished your answer to Yevon?
Yes, here it is. The elf will surely reward you.
Let's hope you're right.
What brings you here?
Do you have a copy of the secret gates?
I do, but I'm unwilling to part with it.
I insist. Just give me a price.
So be it. What brings you here?
I'm looking for the leader of a certain organization.
You suspect me because I'm a dwarf?
I have several suspects, not only dwarves.
What do you want?
I've got my eye on you.
Come back when you stop talking crap.
I want to discuss Salamandra.
Why?
The professor's bail money came from your bank.
You offend me deeply with this slander.
But...
generations of Vivaldis built this bank, and you suggest our gold serves criminals? Out!
I believe you. Has your resentment toward Vizimans led you to a life of crime?
You insult me, Witcher.
Do I?
I would never resort to villainy. Get out!
I believe you. Why do you deal with the Scoia'tael?
I understand their cause, though I don't approve.
So why talk to them?
Cooperation is the only way of taking care of my interests.
And with humans?
Within the lore. If we've no faith in the lore, we've nothing. Now, goodbye.
I believe you. I may have figured this out.
What brings you here?
I've figured out Azar Javed's contacts.
Any guilty non-humans involved?
Let's summarize.
Feel free.
You deal with the Scoia'tael.
Actually, they're trying to contact me. It's a big difference.
You have good reason to dislike humans.
Very observant.
The professor's bail was paid through your bank.
Whatever next?
I know beneath that mask of a sour cynic, you're a law-abiding dwarf, taught respect by his forebears. A dwarf who believes in justice and is trying to fit into human society.
I have little choice.
I don't believe you ever supported Salamandra.
I never figured you'd understand me. Zoltan was right to praise you.
Any time.
I have information about Javed that might be useful.
Even the smallest details sometimes are.
I saw his name in old files. He paid tuition at the sorcerer school in Barnard. He was expelled after taking an interest in dark magic. He stopped paying tuition, and that was the last trace of him in our system. You're dealing with a renegade, and a dangerous one at that. What brings you here?
How's business?
I don't want to discuss it.
Your choice.
Yes, I have that left.
A lucky dwarf.
What brings you here?
Goodbye.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
About the tower.
Yes?
I have new information on the tower.
Tell me quickly.
Before this tower, the mage erected 2 others, but both collapsed. This one served as his house and lab.
I knew that. Anything more?
The mage lived there until he disappeared, most likely dead. He constructed clay golems that served him but hardly seemed a major achievement.
That would agree with the legends of the Sentry.
There are 10 cornerstones involving the elements and threads of fate from which all this was born.
Sephiroth! So the old scrolls are true!
One book contained hints of the stone's whereabouts.
We must find all 10 Sephiroth. I own one of them, Chokmah, the Stone of Wisdom.
I suppose I'm to find the others?
Yes. Near the tower, you'll find a circle of stone obelisks. When you have all 10 Sephiroth, place them on the obelisks. Ah, so close. What a breakthrough. I'll abolish the theory of those stuffy professors in Oxenfurt. I'll destroy them, smash them.
Kalkstein, don't get worked up until I find the stones, which won't be easy. The information in these books is murky at best.
Sorry, could you show me these books? I'll make notes for you.
Here.
There you are.
Look how they grow.
I'm here about the notice.
You look like a warrior. Care to kill Echinops for me?
Certainly.
Bring their thorns as proof. Grow, my love. Look.
Tell me about your mercenary days.
Bring me a morsel to eat and we'll talk. Delicious. Amazing how honest toil can stir the appetite. Thank you, Witcher.
You were saying?
During the war, I served as a mercenary under pretty Kitty herself. You've heard what a warrior she was. What a woman.
Strong women. Nothing on this earth like them.
Too true. We could take on anyone. I saw half the world as a member of Pretty Kitty's corps of mercenaries. We even went to Zerrikania.
That's really far.
It was hell. Hot as an oven, and humid as a bathhouse. We massacred the natives while Zerrikania massacred us. They have flies there that creep up your nose at night and lay eggs. Then the larvae eat your brain and crawl out your eyes once they mature into flies. Disgusting. Many of us died thus. There were also diseases, venomous spiders and snakes, and many other afflictions I can't even name. I even saw a striped horse. After almost 8 months of fighting the jungle, we had to retreat. Impossible to win a war if you can't locate your enemy. It was the only defeat Pretty Kitty ever suffered.
Interesting story. Thanks.
Look how they grow.
Don't you fear the plague?
My garden brings joy. When Melitele decides my time has come, I will go happily.
How did things go at the warehouse once I left?
Quickly.
Good. I admit I was hoping for a bit more, but it's always a few bandits less.
That's the last time you use me. I'm not a general avenger.
Had no choice, believe me. It won't happen again. You have my word. I guess you plan to continue the investigation.
Don't have a choice.
I can't help officially, but I'll leave you to it. Anything you learn, I'd be glad to hear.
I wanted to talk to you about Salamandra.
Okay.
Someone informed them about my cockatrice contract.
What are you suggesting?
The professor, after you released him.
I got no time. End of conversation.
You let the professor out of prison.
His bail was paid. That's the law.
I get it. Observe the law at all costs. You've stopped your men pursuing Salamandra.
Not discussing it doesn't mean we've dropped the case.
I won't disturb you then. What do you do nights? Meet your boss, Azar Javed?
Nothing unnatural about spending nights in the trade quarter.
I see. I think I have this figured out.
What is...
I know about your connection to Salamandra.
Oh, yes?
I'll summarize.
Continue.
My encounter with Salamandra was the professor's doing. You were forced to release him.
The law's the law.
To keep your investigation intact, you kept it secret. Your nightly dealings are not my business.
Finally sounding sensible.
Acknowledging your reasons.
I wish you'd said so sooner.
Well...
Here's a city guard ring. Wear it, and the guard shouldn't give you any trouble.
Thanks. Know anything else about Salamandra?
Salamandra aims to take over the fist-tech trade. Javed smelled the money in it. He's a junkie himself.
Yes?
I seek the Sephiroth stones. I haven't yet located them all. I thought you might know such art and oddities.
I once purchased one for its magical potential, which turned out false. And I paid a mage a costly sum for the examination.
Then would you sell it to me?
Sell my Tipparath? I'm rather fond of it.
I'll give you a good price.
500 orns?
I didn't think it was worth so much. But all right.
I wear Tipparath as an amulet. We can deal right now.
I have 500 orens, though it's quite a price to pay for a stone.
I sadly relinquish it, but my reputation would suffer, as would my business if I did not deal. The Sephira is yours. Yes?
Farewell.
Recently we celebrated the birth of triplets. A good omen.
The Water Lords and I.
Was another Witcher here, Berengar?
Yes, asking about alchemies. He wondered about the Mage's Tower. Kalkstein doubtless sent him. Then we found his gear covered in blood in a clay pit.
Thanks, Veska.
I saw signs of fighting there. Not monsters, but men. Evil men from dry lands, flaming lizards. Beware!
Kalkstein, an alchemist, claims you know about the tower's mage and its sentry.
A powerful sorcerer once lived in the swamp, an apprentice his only companion. All changed when a woman entered his life.
A fairy tale beginning.
But the end differs, for a wicked woman she was. He fulfilled all her wishes and she took advantage of his might.
Who was the woman?
Unimportant.
I'm listening.
Blind love spelled the mage's demise. He called upon forces he could not control and died.
What about the guard?
The mage's lover could tell fortunes, and the mage created a deck of extraordinary tarot cards. He illustrated a future event on each card.
And?
Golems guarded the mage's dwelling. Those spared the ravages of time survive at the cemetery, where they remain motionless.
One of them is the guard?
Yes, the most powerful golem acted as sentry. The tower card depicts how the golem can be revived. In turn, this will open the tower anew. Take this card. I no longer need it. Whosoever raises his hand against the Water Lords loses that hand.
Eternal fire, fill my heart.
Ow! Geralt? By the eternal fire, it's good to see you.
What happened?
An echinops thorn pains me under my greave. I fear I cannot walk. We were seeking the golem burial ground. Some fool, may the eternal fire illuminate the darkness of his mind, was ranting on about mosquitoes and golems when the cursed plant shot me with its thorn. Ouch!
You should get someone to dress that wound.
No time for trivial matters. Elves and hawkers are dealing at the burial ground. My duty was to eliminate the hawkers and the Scoia'tael, chopping off all the Hydra's heads in one fell swoop.
Guess the Hydra got a reprieve.
It was a direct order from the Grand Master. Help me. I'll appoint you commander of my unit.
I'm a witcher, not a soldier.
I believe in you, Geralt. Nothing occurs without cause. The eternal fire has given you both honor and responsibility.
Don't get excited, Siegfried.
We truly need your assistance.
Wait here. I'll look around.
Ah, Witcher.
You've been busy. A training camp?
We must train to fight effectively.
Really think this band of warriors can accomplish something?
Can a few stones turn into an avalanche? Can an entire city burn down from just one spark? No need to answer. We both know the truth. Yes.
I have Vivaldi's response.
He sends words, not gold. I suspected as much.
So my effort was in vain?
Quite the contrary, Witcher. Vivaldi either will not or cannot help us. Crucial information regardless. Did he say why he refused?
I suppose he advocates peaceful reform, struggle within the limits of the law.
Vivaldi's an intelligent player. Do you really think he believes that possible? Imagine the Temerian gentry and King Foltest returning lands they took from us with fire and sword. Imagine them accepting non-humans as equals. Yes.
What are you preparing for?
None of your concern, Witcher. But you're no fool. Think hard. Perhaps you'll figure it out.
An uprising against humans? What if I inform the authorities?
Correction. We aim to win the war we're fighting, not start an uprising. And worry about your informing on us? A non-human yourself? Humans will take you no more seriously than they do us. And even if they do listen, we are prepared. So well, in fact, that nothing can stop us. Vizima will burn soon.
I hope I'll be far away when it begins.
Knowing you, we'll doubtless meet in battle. Question is, which side will you choose?
My own.
Naive as a child, you'll find it impossible to remain neutral in a war.
Time will tell.
Yes.
Got more work for me?
You proved apt at moving around the swamp, and performed a favor for us. There is something.
I'm listening.
I've heard that Knights of the Order of the Flaming Rose have entered the swamp. Those fanatics detest non-humans. They'll come for us sooner or later.
What's it to do with me?
I'd like you to lead the unit to the Golem burial ground, where Hab Karn await with a weapons shipment. If matters turn dire, I expect you to prevent the unit from dispersing.
I'm not sure I want to get involved. I need some time to consider.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
About the tower.
Yes?
Vaska helped me locate the tower tarot card. It describes how to wake the sentry.
Let's see this card. Interesting. Much depends on interpretation, but I think I understand. Alchemists find it easier to understand other alchemists.
Enlighten me.
The sentry can only be woken if it's near the tower. Which it is, and by using a lightning rod.
A lightning rod?
The drawing depicts a man in a crown, a reference to King Herman the Mad?
Who's Herman the Mad?
Herman used to ascend a tower during storms and insult the gods. A hostile faction carried out a coup by removing the lightning rod from the tower.
An interesting story.
You'll need a device that attracts and conducts lightning. Put plainly, a solid metal rod. A good smith should be able to forge one for a decent price.
What next?
Yes, we'll need a thunderstorm, but I have no idea how to make Mother Nature cooperate.
I'll think of something.
When you have everything, attach the lightning rod to the sentry. Energy from the lightning bolt will revive the golem.
What next?
No idea, but you'll manage. If you kill the golem, you'll be able to make a rare potion requiring his heart. Here's the formula.
We'll see.
Sorry, I got lost in thought.
See ya.
No passage.
I'm going inside.
Disease patients inside. I'll not have you spreading the pestilence.
Some kind of curse.
Hi, Geralt.
Hi, Shani.
I miss Oxenfurt sometimes.
You could always go back.
No, I'm needed here. Few have your immunity.
I wanted to talk.
Quickly, I need to get back to work.
I saw guards.
They delivered this badly injured man.
Who injured him?
Guards won't talk to me. He must be important. They want a quick recovery.
I'd like to question this man.
Come back in the evening. The guards might be more talkative, especially with strong drink in hand.
All right, I'll come back later.
Quickly, I need to get back to work.
Here's the Celandine.
Excellent. I'm really grateful.
I'd prefer a monster anatomy lesson.
I dissected a drowned dead once.
You'll be fine. I promise.
You will die.
A medic I know says stitch red to red, white to white, and everything will be all right. That's a hideous scar. Who stitched it?
You will die.
Stay away from the prisoner.
All right.
I pray to Melitele daily to give me strength. Our Mother, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Oh. Have you come to pray to the Great Mother?
I'm not very religious.
Melitele loves even those who go astray.
That's kind of her.
How can I help?
Tell me more about your goddess.
Melitele is mother of all living things, the goddess of love, fertility, and healing.
Why does the statue represent 3 figures?
The goddess has 3 faces, symbolizing her different aspects.
What are those?
A young, carefree girl, a mature, pregnant woman, and a hunched old woman.
I see.
How can I help?
I seek something and found a clue I can't understand.
It is well you came. The goddess is infinitely wise.
The clue says... Well, read it yourself.
3 faces. That's Melitele. Behold the statue with the goddess's 3 faces.
And the sacrifice?
Only nature's harvest. Fruit, plants, flowers. Melitele dislikes killing done in her name. Oh. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
I respect those who take risks.
Silver sword mean anything to you?
Why do you ask?
I don't have time for chit-chat.
Take no offense.
Where did you get the sword?
I won it from a gardener.
Where can I find him?
The garden at St. Lebioda's hospital.
Look how they grow.
I'm more interested in silver swords.
I knew one of you would come by eventually.
You lost it playing dice?
I was sure I'd win. Beware the sharp one plays well.
Where did you get this sword?
5 years ago there was a battle near Brenna. When the dust had settled, our men had beaten the Nilfgaardians. We ceased to call ourselves an imperial province that day.
You captured the sword during the battle?
Yes, it was Witcher Cohen's. A strapping fellow and a rare breed. Not very talkative, mind you.
Like most of us.
I gave my word the sword would find another Witcher. As he lay dying, he mumbled about teeth and destiny. Then he laughed at his own death.
Yet you lost it gambling?
I kept it hidden for 5 years. I lost hope I'd ever run into another Witcher. Miss Shani knew Cohen. She works at the hospital.
Thanks.
Good luck on the path.
Explain to me why the guards tolerate you.
That's confidential. You need to know how to take care of yourself.
Take care?
Both the bastard guards and the arse-loving thieves need me. That's real art, Witcher. I have deals with everyone, and that makes me untouchable.
Right.
So what'll it be? We doing some ploughing business?
You do business with Salamandra?
Did you fucking fall off your horse?
How did you get Berenger's effects?
Dog's balls, I'm a fence. Want me to draw you a picture? You think I ask every thief who he ploughed for his goods?
Let me draw you a picture. A certain organization, Salamandra, has it in for witchers. A witcher, Berengar, disappears, and all he had lands in the hands of a fence. You. Getting this?
A pox on pictures. Berengar's nothing to me. My suppliers might know more. Besides, I'd never survive in this business if I sold hot goods I actually had a hand in getting.
That's believable. A lot of shadowy people hang around here.
Am I a fence? Unfucking believable.
But why at night?
Will you strut about proudly if you had debts? Be glad they all come to me. If Salamanders paid their accounts, the city would have toppled long ago.
I suppose that could be true. You have contacts among the city guards. Could be valuable to Azar.
Damn dangerous times. I need protection from Salamandra, that's why I deal with the guards.
So you say.
I pay Vincent's half-wits a few coins and they see to my personal safety. I'm done now, see ya.
Believable, I guess. I may have just figured this out.
So what'll it be? We doing some ploughing business?
I've figured out Salamandra.
We'll see.
Let's summarize.
I'm really fucking interested.
There's nothing to the story.
What's your problem?
You're no criminal genius, Toller, though you might like to be.
So who am I? Some pious priestess's virginity that she lost in a dark alley?
A little conniver who buys debts to feel important, to have power over people if only for a moment.
That hurt, Geralt.
You talk a bundle, but when push comes to shove, you hide under the city guard's bibs. You lack balls.
Shut the fuck up.
Stop pretending you have principles. You come across the property of a witcher, someone who risks his life for people like you, and what do?
Tell me.
You ignore it. Just more prizes to peddle. You're an insignificant fence, nothing more.
That concludes your investigation? I'm almost disappointed.
You're not worth my time.
The great Geralt has spoken. He lectures, plays the wise one, and I couldn't give a rat's arse. Not being petty, I won't take it personally. All customers lose their wits once in a while. I'll let you in on something. I might have gotten on Azor's bad side once. The bastard lusts after antiques and luxuries, like any savage who makes a corner too. I was once asked to handle an entire transport of that shit. Turned out it was for him, except I needed the city guard's help at the time. I tipped Vincent off and they confiscated everything. I've needed even more protection since. Hell with it. So what'll it be? We doing some ploughing business? Drinking with you's a fucking treat. I'll show you something interesting, though I shouldn't. I found a book, Redanian Intelligence, a history. Everybody thought this damned scroll had disappeared. Not now.
I'm all ears, White Wolf.
So, I questioned the captain of the city guard.
Any conclusions?
I think he's innocent.
Surprising. Sure he didn't pull the wool over your eyes?
Don't worry about my eyesight. It's not Vincent.
All right, I'll cross him off our list of suspects. For now. He's hiding something, that's clear, but I'll look into that later. What about our other leads?
See you soon.
For 2 orens, I'll clean your shoes. You know who I am. I thought that scroll had disappeared for good. How can I thank you? This ring of the prophet Lebioda is my only thing of value. The elderly esteem it. Pilfered it off some at a shelter.
Welcome, dear. Do have a cup and keep an old woman company. Holiest Melitella, 'tis a monastic sign, a monk of the prophet Lebioda disguised as a witcher.
Slight exaggeration, Grandma.
Ever so modest. Sway that girl away from medicine, she should pray. The prophet Lebioda said... What was it he said?
I'll return that lost sheep to the fold.
Old age is no jest. Upstairs, Father. Be my guest.
I'll go at once.
Goodness.
Finally, you found me.
Looks like it.
How'd you get past the old hag?
That nice lady downstairs?
She's made my life hell.
Girls your age should be married.
That's what she thinks.
Is your rent low at least?
At least my rent is low. Doctors earn little in Temeria. Many leave.
You stayed.
Someone had to.
Anyway.
Yes?
Shani, I wanted to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you saw Cohen shortly before he died.
That's right. How did you know?
I found his sword.
He died during the battle at Brenna, on my operating table.
You were a medic at Brenna?
I worked alongside a surgeon named Rusty, best doctor I ever knew.
Knew?
He died when the Catriona plague erupted, in Maribor. Though a halfling, he could operate like no one else. He made everything seem simple. Stitch red to red, yellow to yellow, white to white, and everything will be all right. You wouldn't understand.
Sorry, Shani, I didn't know him. Do you know anything about this sword?
No, but you should ask the dwarf, Zoltan Chive. His knowledge of weapons is unmatched. Yes?
Shani.
I wanted to talk.
What is it?
Sometimes I dream about the Battle of Brenna, the massacre.
I'm sorry.
But that's it. I'm not sorry. I wake up refreshed and it's like I'm used to suffering. Does that make sense?
It does.
Thanks. Sometimes it's good to share.
Don't mention it.
Not enough pay for this.
We'll all die.
Stay. I'm sleepy. Stay away from the prisoner.
I want to ask some questions. Shh, he's talking.
Kalkstein. He's passed out. Shove off.
There's a commotion in the corridor.
Bloody thugs. Ram's meat sent them.
Yes?
What do you know about my silver sword?
What, me? A simple dwarf?
Shani insisted your knowledge of weapons is unequaled.
All right. Silver-plated blade. A steel core. Suited to a two-handed grip. Decent workmanship, not perfect. I don't know runes for shit.
Thanks.
No problem.
Know anything about Vivaldi's bank?
Now it's only Vivaldi's by name.
How so?
New owners. Humans.
That explains a lot.
Really?
How are you doing?
Ever considered marriage, Geralt?
My profession's not exactly conducive to marriage. Infertility, incessant risk, travel. Not many women would agree to that.
You see, I'm having doubts.
Go on.
I haven't seen her for some time, and I'm getting jealous. She-dwarves are so desirable.
I suggest we drink heavily, if that doesn't help.
You mocking me?
I wouldn't dare.
Hardly something to laugh about.
Got a minute?
What's eating you?
I warn you, some philosophy's involved.
The meaning of life, eh?
The evil that witchers fight stems from chaos, from actions aimed at disturbing order. For where evil spreads, order cannot be established. Instead of the light of wisdom, the glimmer of hope, and the glow of warmth, darkness ensues. And in darkness you find nothing but blood, fangs, and claws. Like in the outskirts.
Nicely put, but as young Cero said to King Verdank on their first date, does it have any practical uses?
The right of witchers to live and function in this world has fallen out of balance, because the struggle between good and evil now plays out on a different battlefield with different rules. Evil has ceased being chaotic. No longer a blind elemental power, evil follows rules according to the rights it's been granted. It functions in line with treaties.
That's progress. With more of us living longer, we can slaughter one another in the thousands. Progress is like a herd of pigs. The herd brings many benefits, but no one should wonder at all the shit.
Shit or no shit, witchers exist to slay monsters. How can I when the real monsters hide behind ideals, faith, or the law?
The biggest evil is moral relativity, which kills more than the Catriona plague and dragons combined. Witchers will always be needed, no matter where that pig herd leads us.
Thanks, Sultan.
I'm all ears, White Wolf.
So, I got to the prisoner.
He spill anything?
Didn't have time. Ramsmeet's men attacked.
You sure? Strange. Ramsmeat wants Salamandra gone, unless something I don't know about has occurred.
Javed might have scared him, or paid him off.
Something to check. Did you get anything out of the prisoner?
One word. Kalkstein.
Makes sense. Kalkstein's known to be a talented alchemist. He could be helping Javed with his experiments.
I've met Kalkstein. He didn't look the criminal.
That might be true, but we need to check all our leads. Let's get to work. I'll ask around town, talk to my contacts. You keep an eye on Kalkstein. Gain his trust. Get to know his plans and secrets.
How do you want to proceed?
Patience. This is just like fishing.
I prefer hunting.
Then gain Kalkstein's trust. Do him a favor. Learn something that interests him. You could get him to hire you. And talk to Ramsmeat, but don't overdo it. There's one with a short temper. It's elementary.
Need something?
Will you sell me your wares?
Zoltan praised you, so we can trade. If you care to buy something, see my apprentice. I do the forging and handle special orders.
Would you make me a lightning rod? A long metal?
I know what one is. We used them in Mahakam when humans still prayed to storms. You haven't learnt much about lightning rods since.
Can you make a lightning rod?
Are you trying to offend me, or can't you control what you say? I can, for 50 orens.
Deal.
Come back later. Need something?
The lightning rod?
It's ready. 50 orens.
50 orens, like we agreed.
What is it?
You druids control nature's forces, right?
No, we cannot. Rather, we live by its rhythms.
You train wild animals, and you can stir up a storm?
No, I mean yes, but not by force.
Well, I need a tempest with thunder and lightning. Can you create one?
I can, but as I said...
I'll pay. Call it a donation toward the prevention of further devastation of the environment.
500 orens.
That's too much.
Things are getting more expensive, and we have to live somehow. Come back when you're ready.
Here's 500 orens. I await my storm.
It's no easy feat. I'm no common mage, harnessing storms with absurd stone posts.
What posts?
Anyone magical can activate the 3 stone posts at the golem burial ground. They attract lightning.
Maybe I can use the posts to wake the golem.
Fortunately, that creature stands beyond the post's range. Experimenting with nature's forces can only bring misfortune.
How are the posts activated?
Touch them while intending to attract a storm. But danger abounds. A careless instant can cost your life.
I'll be careful. Farewell.
I know your intention, Witcher, and I would prepare. Imbibe some of those potions, for you'll need them.
A Witcher without potions is half a Witcher druid.
Windblade.
Farewell.
Thanks, Geralt. You saved my life. The bastards snuck in here. Somehow they found out I'm after them.
Who? What happened?
Salamandra. I was a step away from solving the mystery. One small step.
Relax, Raymond. You're safe now.
Not likely. They're following me day and night. I gotta find a way to lose them.
What do we do?
I'll set a false trail. You question the new suspects.
Who?
Here, take these notes. They list all the key leads.
What do you intend to do?
They're on my heels, so I've gotta disappear. I'll draw them away while you pursue the investigation. I'll find you, White Wolf. It's elementary. Sense.
You look neither to me. Yes?
I've nearly completed my investigation.
All right, speak.
If you don't work with Salamandra, who are you?
A modest merchant. Allow me to show gratitude with a gift.
Quit bluffing, Declan.
This symbol signifies my secret society. We seek to destroy Salamandra.
Learn anything useful?
The Salamanders have risked much. This is a political matter, let me tell you. Some larger schemes at play in Redania. Few people know the secret. King Foltest, the Lodge of Sorceresses, and I watch the northern border.
How does this relate to Salamandra?
Azar Javed has sent a special force north. My men saw them. He too knows something's brewing and is making preparations.
Yes?
This investigation is getting expensive.
I'm not the Prophet Lebioda. I can't live on roots and berries. Neither can my informers. I guarantee you these are the bare necessities.
All right, 200 orens.
Down to business. They transferred the prisoner after the attack.
Not good.
Especially since we won't get anything else out of him. He died last night.
How did that happen?
Well, he wasn't in great shape, so I guess it's no surprise, but I have a feeling.
Someone helped him along?
Exactly. Shani's a good friend of yours, right? Ask her to do an autopsy, once we know the cause of death.
Wait a minute. Are you spying on me?
That's my job.
See you later.
It's elementary.
Geralt, we need to talk.
What is it?
Some people died at the hospital. Were you involved? Explain yourself.
I wanted to question a prisoner, one of your patients, but thugs interrupted us. It was their bodies the guard discovered later.
I'll tell you what I overheard. The prisoner will be transported to a safe location.
Thanks, Shani, for understanding.
Just watching out for you.
I need you to help me with an autopsy.
What? That's illegal.
It's necessary.
Visit me at night. We'll talk.
See ya.
Upstairs, Father. Be my guest.
I'll go at once.
Yes?
Shani, I wanted to ask you something. I need your help with an autopsy.
An autopsy? Since when do you deal with stuff like that?
Since I started investigating Salamandra.
Okay, though I'm no coroner. You'll have to interpret our findings. We'll meet in the evening. Until then, gather as many clues as possible.
I'll sniff around.
Get the body from the gravedigger. We'll meet at the hospital in the evening.
How do I find information to help the autopsy?
Ask Vincent Mice, but also look for books on anatomy and pathology.
Farewell.
What is it, Witcher?
You ever do autopsies?
What for? Punctured stomachs mean gang warfare. Torn off heads mean beasts. And black tongues mean poison. The first case, we pressure ram's meat. The second, we pass on to the Order or a Witcher. The third, we go to the victim's wife. The culprit 90% of the time. Autopsies are a waste of time. Imbeciles.
What do you need?
You seem to know a lot about the deaths in the city. Ever help with investigations?
Sometimes I inform Raymond about the more interesting dead men.
Maybe you can tell me, too.
No, I promise to keep quiet.
I see.
What do you need?
A prisoner died recently. Is he in the cemetery already?
Don't know. You can have another body. They all reek the same.
I'm after a specific corpse.
Particular. Come back when you know what you want. Examining remains is an art. Always worthwhile to look deeper. But who does that concern?
Could you hand over the prisoner's body for an autopsy?
For a bottle of dwarven liquor. Nothing like a good drink.
About the prisoner.
Where you want the body dumped?
At the hospital.
It'll be there by evening.
Farewell.
Nothing like a good drink.
Right.
Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum!
You're not likely to tell me anything interesting.
What do you need?
You seem to know a lot about the deaths in the city. Ever help with investigations?
Sometimes I inform Raymond about the more interesting dead men.
I don't trust Raymond. He's hiding something.
Raymond? You wouldn't find a more loyal man.
He seems to be struggling with this case. I should help. Will you let me inside the cemetery?
City authorities prohibited it.
How can I change your mind?
I'd need Captain Mice's permission.
No other way to sway you?
Actually, I have a terrible debt with Toller. Clear those debts, the cemetery key's yours.
What is it, Witcher?
Can you get me a pass into the cemetery?
No trouble. Maybe you can clean it up while you're there.
I'll see.
Nothing like a good drink.
Right.
Yo-ho-ho and a...
You're not likely to tell me anything.
What do you need?
I want to get inside the cemetery.
City authorities prohibited it.
I have a pass from Captain Mice.
Here are the keys. Go inside where we lay the fresh ones, but if they kill you, don't return to haunt me.
Farewell.
do you need?
Here's your key.
Learn anything?
I found Raymond's body in the crypt.
How? I spoke to him recently.
Now I'm sure. The leader of Salamandra, a mage capable of spinning illusions, is masquerading as Raymond.
Ashes to ashes.
I suspected you were working with Javed.
You think I lead Salamandra? I'll die laughing!
I know Raymond is the Salamandra leader.
Are you sure?
Yes, I have irrefutable evidence. Azar killed Raymond and assumed his identity using an illusion.
The rogue! What do you intend to do about it?
You're better off not knowing.
Be careful. He has great power. You must separate him from its source, the element of fire. Lure him to a place where the magical aura is unstable. It would be best if this place were surrounded by the opposing element, water.
The tower in the swamp.
Ideal. You'd stand a chance there.
See ya.
What do you want, Wolf?
Want the truth about Salamandra?
I'm listening.
Someone wanted me to believe you led Salamandra.
And I thought Salamandra sent you.
That's interesting.
They really liked me out of the saddle. They tried to poison me and sent several masked assholes out to assassinate me. But that's all too little for Uncle Ramsmy. I thought you were their next attempt.
I know you're fighting Salamandra. I'm hunting them too.
Javed wants to take over my business. He decided to start with the girls. Know why? Though he left Zarakenia long ago and trained to be a mage, deep inside, he's remained a fucked up wild man. Now you get it?
Not really.
He's driven by instinct. Thinks with that Zarakanian cock of his. And he's got some strange fetishes. Likes fire. My girls are scared shitless. And they don't scare that easily.
Thanks. That helped.
No problem.
I figured out Javed.
Good. So you gained the element of surprise. But you'll still have to face this powerful sorcerer alone.
Maybe Kalkstein has some ideas.
Good work, Wolf.
Want the truth about...
I'm listening.
I'll be back.
Ready for the autopsy?
Let's get started.
Race, human. Gender, male. Wounds, extensive.
Shani, this isn't a lecture hall.
Whatever you say. He died yesterday, torn to pieces.
Could a human have inflicted these wounds?
Only with a 2-foot jaw.
A werewolf?
The moon's shining. Wouldn't he turn into a lycanthrope?
I guess.
Geralt, no need to test me. I'm a professional. Moving on.
The bone marrow has been sucked out. Must be scavengers.
Very likely. Plenty around the cemetery.
So, he was torn to pieces after he died. I'm interested in the cause of death.
I also see some stab wounds. A blade 2 fingers wide.
External signs aren't everything. His neck muscles and palms look tense. How do you know when he died?
Normally I base it on muscle stiffness and dehydration, but rigor mortis is persisting for too long.
They say successful autopsies are based on curiosity. Should we look?
Let's check his internal organs. The symptoms are peculiar, and the cause of death, too.
Those wounds are too obvious. I suspect something more. Poison?
If so, a rare sort. Perhaps an alchemist's brew.
Kalkstein?
Ah! Liver's completely cirrhotic. It was obviously a potent poison. This stinks of alchemy.
This is too easy.
Life can be simple sometimes.
Are you certain poison is the only explanation for the unusual rigor mortis?
The most likely cause.
I have a sinking feeling there's more to this.
We can try the coroner's last resort, opening the skull. Opening the skull, always a pleasure. See that in the brain?
Larva of the Zeracanian tsetse fly.
But how did they get in his brain?
It's part of their development cycle. If we were in Zeracania, I'd say a fly crawled up his nose and laid its eggs.
We're in Temeria.
Our climate is too cold and dry for the tsetse fly. Even if someone brought eggs, how would they get up his nose?
What do these eggs look like?
Tiny, white, like flour.
Or Fistek? Geralt. I gave him Fistek before he died. He was suffering terribly, and we had no other anesthetics. I thought it was safe.
Where did you get it?
From your friend, the detective. He told me it was from special stock.
Raymond.
Then we have a problem.
He added eggs to the Fistek, then came here at night to fake the other evidence.
That doesn't sound like Raymond at all.
My medallion vibrates whenever I see him lately. And Zeracania? That's where Azar Javed is from. The real Raymond may no longer be with us.
But I saw him just yesterday.
Azar's using an illusion, trying to manipulate me. Thanks, Shani. I couldn't have figured it out without you.
What will you do now?
I'll talk to Kalkstein first. He should help me prepare.
Be careful, Geralt. Please don't underestimate Javed.